Hello beautiful people, welcome back to Nene's Glam World. For today's makeup tutorial, we are going to be doing a beautiful purple pink glam makeup look. And when I say glam, I mean glam. You've probably seen it from the intro in the video or on the thumbnail, and I tell you it is stunning. So guys, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe and share with your friends. So let's get into this makeup look. As usual, I always start with my eyebrows. Eyebrows, as I always say, define your face. They shape your face. And those are the two things I'll be using. So I've just applied an eyebrow gel by Rimmel, their wonderful brow gel. And then now I'm just going to go in with that LA Girl Pro Conceal Concealer, and I'm going to apply it right at the arc of my brow. And then for the inner part, what I'm doing right now, I'm going to be using a foundation, and I'm specifically using the Clinique Even Better foundation. Don't mind that I'm using the same brush. I know that it's mixed the colors, but yeah, there's nothing wrong with eyebrows being slightly lighter than your skin tone. The concealer that you use for your eyebrows, I mean, especially for us dark-skinned people, using a lighter concealer for your eyebrows will make your eyebrows more visible on your face. So I've just used those two items, and that is what I'm applying right now with that flat, small, angled brush. And then afterwards, we are going to blend that out. After I'm satisfied with the shape that I've decided to use, we are going to blend that out into my skin and make sure that it's disappeared into my skin. So I'm just using a different brush for that. This one is more fluffy, and that's what I'm just going to use to blend out those the concealer that I've used to apply all around my brows. So after doing all that, and we are satisfied with the fact that the concealer is well blended into the skin and is blending into the surrounding skin tone and not looking crazy, is when we are going to proceed. We are going to take our color corrector, and if you are a dark-skinned person like me, make sure that you use an orange color corrector. An orange color corrector is going to lighten any dark areas of your face, and it's also going to lighten any dark spots on your face, or basically it's going to color correct any dark areas of your face. So sometimes if you have dark under eye circles, use an orange color corrector first. If your eyelids are also too dark, use an orange color corrector. If you have spots on your face, you can spot mark using an orange color corrector. Now for foundation, I'm going to be using the Clinique Even Better foundation. This is the shade Spice. It's one of the first foundations that I actually ever found my actual shade. And I was very glad to have found it, because you'll see by the end of this makeup look that it will blend perfectly with my skin tone, especially my neck. It's one of the foundations that I always reach for because it always provides a seamless finish and it matches my skin tone perfectly when it comes to my neck. And then for concealer, I'm going to use a brighter concealer for the inner areas of my eyes, just below my eyes. Basically, it's for highlighting the areas that you want highlighted, and mostly you want to highlight your under eyes and around your mouth and the bridge of your nose, and also highlight your forehead. That way it gives you a natural, glowy, youthful look. And And the second concealer that I used, as you saw, I changed concealers, was the Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the shade Cafe. The first one was the NYX Studio HD concealer in the shade Golden. And then the blush that I've used is the She Glam blush, and that is their shade Devoted. It's a light peach blush. And then I'm just going to use two tools to blend that out. I'm going to use this densely packed brush, just because I don't want the makeup to be all over. So I'll just tap that in first. Trust the process. The process has to be trusted in order to achieve that flawless look. So as I tap that in, I will go again. And notice that I started with the lighter concealers and then went to the darker concealer, slightly darker concealer, and then finally I turned the brush over and I am just dabbing in the blush. Very likely, I'm one of those people who is really heavy-handed. Just because you're heavy-handed doesn't mean you cannot do makeup. Most of the time I have to check my heavy-handedness, but it still works sometimes, because makeup application, just like painting, requires a really light hand. It doesn't require a heavy hand. So I don't know what that was on the beauty blender, but I'm just removing it. So I've just turned the beauty blender on the opposite side that I applied foundation using this same beauty blender, and then I've just flipped it over, and then now I'm just blending in the concealer. So again, I've started with the concealer, and then afterwards is when I'll blend out the blush. So don't worry, when it comes to blending, you have to be really patient, because if you're not patient, it will become murky. See how heavy-handed I was over there? It's not very good for makeup. So I always have to check the heavy-handedness. When I remember, I always change to a light hand, but when I get carried away, I just become heavy-handed with my makeup. Okay, now I'm just going to put some concealer on my eyelids to act as an eyeshadow primer. And the reason for this is that you want an eyeshadow primer that will hold your shadow or your eyeshadow for very long hours, because if you just apply it directly on your skin, it won't hold it for very long. So it's good to apply an eyeshadow primer, and I usually use a concealer for an eyeshadow primer. And the blush that I'm using is just a reddish blush. It's a powder blush, and that's why it's just a generic powder blush. And that's why I'm just trying to lightly dab it onto my cheeks. And then after setting that blush, the reason I was applying the powder blush was to set it. And then after setting that blush, I'm going to set my concealer. So I'm just taking a black opal setting powder. That's the shade Medium. And I'm just going to, it's a finishing powder, but I do like to use it to set. And then I'm just going to dab it in the areas that I applied concealer. This way, as I always say and repeat in almost all of my videos, that way your makeup does not crease. And I always say this in all my makeup tutorials, that if you do not set your concealer, it will gather in the folds of your skin, especially in areas where you move your face a lot, especially around your eyes, because when you smile, your eye muscles move. When you laugh, your mouth muscles move. So if your mouth muscles and eye muscles are constantly moving, the concealer will settle between the creases of your skin. That's why you have to set it. And then for the eyeshadow, which is the belle of the ball in this case for this makeup tutorial, we are going to be using this purple. I don't know, I think I'll insert a video or an image of a previous makeup look that I did with this actual shade, and it turned out horrific. Now, if you notice on my skin tone, this is not one of the most flattering shades. On my skin tone, this particular shade of purple normally makes me look aged. I noticed, and even when I wear clothes that are this particular shade of purple, I look really old. So what I do is that today I'm just going to go out of my comfort zone. Just because a color looks bad on you doesn't mean you have to try, to try it. I mean, you only live once. So I'm going to take a pink eyeshadow, and then I'm just going to try and blend that out. And when you're doing this particular makeup look, I guarantee you, you need to blend. You need to blend. I shortened this video, but I blended like for a full 5 minutes. Like I was just blending. So blend, make sure that you blend the two colors, the two shades. And then at the very top, I also put a lighter shade of pink, like a really light shade of pink. So those are 3 colors that I'm thoroughly blending such that one, slides into the other. Or how can I put it? So that one color blends into the other, essentially. So I'm alternating those brushes. I'm going in with the dark purple brush, and then I come back with the pink brush, and then the lightest pink brush. And I'm just doing that over and over again until all the 3 shades are blended out. Now, this was sort of a famous kind of look a few years back, but I absolutely love it. I think it's really good for like evening glam. And then I'm just going to apply that same shade of pink that I applied sort of in the center. And I'm going to apply it right at the center of that space that I left. And the blending does not stop. As I told you, I blended for a really long time. And then because I just want a little bit of oomph for an evening look, I'm going to add a little bit of glitter. And before I put the glitters on, I'm just going to use some glitter glue just to make sure they are there. Now, do not be like me. I sort of applied a lot of glitter glue, which I wasn't intending to. So just apply a little bit of glitter glue and then proceed with glitter application. Now, I want this the glitter part to be just random, not a particular shape, not like a moon shape or a half shape. It's just going to be random glitters right at the center. So I'm still blending, as you guys can notice. And then I did drag a little bit of the dark purple eyeshadow just on my lower eyelid. And then now I'm just going to use this Maybelline mascara on my lower lids before I put on my false lashes. Make sure you also tightline your waterline, which I did not show you when I was tightlining my waterline. But I do tightline my waterline all the time. So I'm just putting on my false lashes before we carry on with the rest of the makeup. And as you can see, it is looking great. Now, I did change the hair because I think I was looking a bit crazy. And now I'm going to do my lips. So for lips, we are just going to line them first. I do prefer my lips when they're lined with a black pencil. It's all about preference, especially when it comes to makeup looks. It's all about preference. There's no standard, color, no standard anything for any particular person. It's all about your preference. So I'm just going to blend out that pencil first. And if you do use a black pencil like me, make sure that you blend it out. I know there's been a trend going around with the younger generation that they do not blend the pencil. This also happened like back in the 90s when people were not blending the pencil. But for this particular look, I feel that you should blend it out. So I've just taken also the concealer and I'm just going to define my lips further. Yes, with a definition, but if you want things to pop, you've got to do the work. And then I'm going to use this absolutely gorgeous formula of lipstick. Now, I've used the word formula because this is not one of my favorite colors, but I thought it would look good with this look. So this is the shade Koi. This is the Maybelline Vinyl Ink. Now, it has a natural sheen. Even when it dries down, it still looks shiny. It doesn't transfer. That is what's so amazing about this lipstick. That's why I said an amazing formula. So it does dry down, but not to a matte finish. It has a sheen and it doesn't transfer. And I absolutely think that lipstick is magic. So that is the shade Koi of the Maybelline Fit Me. And then I did add an highlighter. And for highlighter, I faithfully used the NYX, what's it called? The High Glass Illuminating Powder. And that's the shade Golden Hour. And look at that sheen. Tell me what you think of this makeup look in the comment section. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.